I'm not ready.
Canstralia or
Hey,
Austradian.
can't tell you. More like.
I want my BP.
Quit being Patrick.
Am I Neil again? Oh, I'm not Neil.
No.
See, it doesn't sound real at all.
It's loud now.
Oh yeah, you really got him.
All you need to do is have it say its name like a Pokemon for Wade. Whatever he named his white lightsaber, just be like, "It me, bitch."
All right.
So
You're
we're
a
on
kid
our
in
way
front
to
of the festival.
Kroll.
You are on your way to Kroll. Or at least on your way to Drazstone. And unfortunately, chat rolled very middling when you said low was bad. So that means something bad is very, 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 very unlikely to happen. Rena, can you go ahead and roll me a survival
Wait, we
check?
gotta roll again for this?
No, you didn't roll anything. Rena, go ahead and roll me a survival check. Just don't roll a 1 and you should be fine.
Prove him wrong. We're gonna roll a 1 right now. No.
You rolled 2 1s, so guess what? Horrible things are gonna happen.
That's a lie.
Yes.
Technically, Rena rolled a 5. There's no luck.
No one loves us.
Chat doesn't like you guys.
Ever since you ripped the soul out of that creature, we've had nothing but.
Oh yeah, it's all
I don't think you understand. There's this separate Discord. Okay, it's called the Paladins Cathedral, and it's where Norway is the Discord owner, and he has forced everybody by law, punishment of death, to come to that Discord where he lays down the rules of how things must be done in the future. So.
How did you get another ice cream?
I thought we weren't allowed to go into the future.
Oh.
Or was that the past?
That's the same ice cream.
So you've had 2 ice creams for dinner now? Is that what you're saying?
This is definitely my second one.
No, it's his third, Rena.
Wait, are you serious?
This is definitely my third one.
You have not.
Oh my god!
You've not had more than 3. You're kidding.
Scott, you're in timeout.
This is literally my 4th one.
Scott, you're in timeout.
Without a word of exaggeration.
Bad.
Wow.
So we arrive in Drazstone with absolutely no problems whatsoever. Great.
But just this is my dinner. I didn't have dinner, so it's okay. That's how science works. Veritasium told me that. So Rena, you guys arrive into Drazstone. You're able to avoid any concerns or whatnot that might be around. You see, at this point in time, while the military has moved on, for the most part, returning back to Kurzfall before the teleporters went down, some of the military had stayed behind, actually specifically Raven's Riders, had stayed behind with the intention of cleaning up the rest of the what are they called? Gibbling Mouthers. So at one point in time, you actually do notice a small patch of Mouthers. That's a concern. It's like, oh shit, some of those things are around. And you guys are kind of like, do we retreat from it? Do we run? What do we do? And you guys are kind of preparing like, okay, well, let's try to keep our distance. We'll be prepared to fight them if we need to, but at the same time, let's not push ourselves to get away from them because we're not that scared of these things. They're concerning, but we can handle a couple, right? And then all of a sudden, like a group of riders comes running in and takes care of them for you. Unfortunately, they lose one of their own or whatever, but they handle it for you, and you're like, oh, Leon really has this place under wraps, huh?
We're gonna laugh at them losing one of their own. I'm just kidding.
What the fuck?
That'd be awful.
See, evil campaign that gives us justification to do whatever we want here.
Nope. That's messed up. So anyways, you guys are eventually able to make your way back into Drazstone. Remember, Drazstone might have an opinion of you guys.
Positive one.
Mm-hmm.
Did a lot of good here for this community.
Drazstone isn't where we killed the guy, right?
No. Drazstone is where you led the Mouthers.
We didn't lead the Mouthers.
Messi, would you like to remind him?
I know, but we didn't intentionally lead the Mouthers
didn't
like
lead
they intentionally led the Mouthers. And how do they know it was us?
Rena,
don't
did they
remember
discover it
leading
was you? It's because Yondas didn't.
No question mark.
We
Actually,
told
no
them.
idea
Oh,
what you're
I
talking
remember
about.
when I was Elijah, I was like, "Hey, there's a bunch of Mouthers out there." They're like, "So?" I was like, "Well, do something about it." And they were like, "You didn't lead them back here, did you?"
Oh, these people.
And then we looked and there was
These
no one
people?
there. We were
Yeah,
like,
no.
"Okay, fuck it, bye."
Yeah, whatever.
Never mind.
Yeah.
And they're like, "See you, nerd." So I hope they all died.
Nope. They didn't. So, how do you guys handle the approach as you walk up there and you're like, hey, isn't this where we led those Mouthers? Yeah, it is. And you're like, what Mouthers?
Hey, isn't this where we left those Mouthers?
But it wasn't.
have-
It wasn't
heard
Yondas,
that.
though.
I have my cloak of disguise on.
Is that
Yeah,
the one?
do
Is
have
it the one you
hood
bought
of
at JCPenney?
disguise. She does have the hood of disguise now because
The hood of
Ophios
disguise.
says disguise self.
Oh, that's right.
So I'll wear that.
And Ophios just disguises himself as somebody different.
Wow.
Yep.
It's actually pretty easy. Okay. Well,
Mhm.
you guys don't even struggle. You just make it happen. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
It's actually obnoxious how easy that was.
No checks.
Don't even need to.
Cool.
Because there's no reason that anybody would even question it. So how are you guys going to find your way to actually go and speak to the leadership? You can't just walk in and be like, hi, we're people you never heard of and don't know. Can we talk
Hey,
to Kroll?
that hotel where Nightingale used to be. How about we see if Nightingale's there?
You wish.
You go and check out, you kind of go into the place and ask, is Nightingale here? And they'll be like, who?
Who?
We don't ask for Nightingale, not like that. We do the secret things.
Does the rooster crow midday? And they're like, what the hell are you talking about? We're like, oh, was that not the
Have
code?
you seen an old crow around here?
Wow. You guys are rough.
Wow.
Um,
I wouldn't say
Night-
that. That's just rude.
investigation to find out if Nightingale's around.
I think yours is better, but I'll double check. Oh yeah, I'm
I
stupid.
have
I
a
forgot that was
plus 8.
Elisha. That was better. Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
Do I get advantage for assists or just
Nope,
me?
because you have disadvantage, but you're gonna be, they're giving you the advantage to counter it. $17? You happy you're 17?
Act like we have luck, dude. Pff.
Yes! I got him to use it! Oh my god! I got him! That was amazing!
Our one and only luck, and it's a nat one.
How'd we use it?
Oh my
Because I was
God.
like, I was going to show Scott that we didn't have any, and he apparently gave us one at some point.
That was amazing. That made me very happy.
Chat gave us one.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, anyways,
I'm sorry, Will.
Thanks,
Speak-
Will.
speaking of gifts, is Joey still in chat? And yeah, you're actually able to find out that Nightingale actually was here, but she ended up leaving probably about 2 weeks ago.
Cool.
Cool.
I
Cool.
guess we could also ask about how we could go about talking to Kroll.
Joey, you got a new emote. I don't know if you noticed. So
You
anyways,
saying that while flexing? Don't know if you noticed. Got a new emote.
no, Joey got a new emote.
Oh.
He's the only one that has it
Yeah.
right now, I think.
Joey has a new emote.
Whoa, look at this one.
Look at Joey's new emote. Oh,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that one's common denominator.
I love it.
It's math.
great.
Doing math.
Yeah,
You
math.
added the
Oh.
DJ noise.
Why does it look like Mathis?
Yeah, there you
I
go,
just
Joey.
see Mathis there.
All the white people with beards look like the same person to me.
That looks like Mathis to you. Mathis can't grow a beard.
Oh, it's another Brit Ugg.
That's rude.
Cute.
Yeah.
I can't even tell what half of these are.
You on your cell phone?
That doesn't look like the bottom of
Yeah.
the league to me.
Oh, that's not happening. I tried for that one.
Well, I appreciate you trying.
All right.
Yes,
Whoa.
thanks for trying.
Whoa. Dude. Okay, side note. Over here, it says it's the Aurorum one. It's a picture of my daughter holding a flower. Not even joking. On Streamlabs chatbot, it's a picture of a sniper rifle with a crosshair. I'm going to snip at this. I'm not even joking. This is fucking insane.
That's so funny.
Okay, I'm gonna a picture of it over here. Okay, copy. I'm gonna put this in the Discord spoilers chat. Okay.
Okay.
Well, where are you? Where's the spoilers? Okay, paste. Done. All right, where did I go from? Moose down to I love them. Okay, over here at new. And I'm gonna go, where's Moose? Just so it's the same fucking thing. The hell's Moose? Oh, here we go. Down to I love them. All right, ready? Copy and paste. Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Must be someone else's emote.
Yeah.
I think that's the sniper from COD. Is that the intervention?
Isn't that crazy?
No, I think it's just some sniper.
It's a goddamn sniper.
Your links are broken.
Like my daughter's emote was turned into a sniper. How the hell did an emote of my
bro.
daughter turn into a sniper?
Yeah, I feel like you should yell
that's
at
sick.
Streamlabs. Maybe that's why I tell you not to use them.
Ooh, got him.
I'm the only one that sees it, so I don't care.
He got him.
But Streamlabs makes my life easy. Watch this. Say Scooter in chat.
Scooter. In chat.
Scooter in chat.
Wow.
Yeah, nothing happened. That's weird.
Yeah.
Wow. Funny. All right. You guys ready to keep
Said
going?
to say it.
Nightingale's not
Yeah,
here.
I'm ready.
What's your plan for how to talk to them?
We don't
Hey,
want to talk to
Kroll,
Kroll.
buddy! You remember us from that temple?
I remember what Kroll looks like. I can go look for him, I guess. Anyone seen a hobgoblin? Right? Wait, was he a hobgoblin when he wasn't?
Mm-hmm.
No, his physical appearance wasn't a hobgoblin, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was? Oh, okay. Well, then let's go. Where do hobgoblins hang out?
So, Messi, you just kind of want to stealth around town and look for him?
Yeah, I'll just peek around. How big is the town?
Not incredibly large. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
it's a town, so it's sprawling and has people all over the place or whatever, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. Sure. Roll a stealth, roll an investigation, or perception.
Okay, stealth. Perception or investigation, you gotta tell me now.
Investigation is asking questions, perception is just looking.
Let's just start with perception. Damn.
Dog, dude.
Hoping for something
20.
Now, you never actually... Oh, you actually do know Kroll.
He knows Kroll better than
Mhm.
probably both Rena and I.
Correct. So, whereas the others might struggle to find Kroll, because he is a hobgoblin in a town that is predominantly like 80% hobgoblins, you actually know
Is it
Kroll.
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. You actually know Kroll. Like, you spent an amount of time with him and had much more significant experience with him than the others. So he'd be much more easily identifiable to you than the others. Are you happy with your 24 and your 20?
That's what I was
Or are you happy with your 24 and your 20? Or do
Yeah,
you want to
I'm
modify
happy.
it? You sure? You're 100%?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. So with your 24, nobody's going to notice you looking around. With your 20's perception check, you look around, and it's not like it's a quick thing. Trying to find him is actually going to take a considerable amount of time, because let's be honest, he blends in a little bit, but not because you don't know what he looks like, because he's not dressed at all the same as he was before. Before he has a very drab clothes.
Yeah.
Now he's actually dressed up fairly
That's
well.
fair.
It takes a bit of time for you to pluck him out. You want to go ahead and roll me a 3d6?
Sure. Wow, 16.
You wanted
That's
to roll
high.
low here.
It's 16 hours. That means not the first day you go searching for him. That's the tail end of the second day of you searching around for him. You actually you're finally able to find him. Well, one of those things you're like, it's been 2 days searching. I'm not even going to find this clown. And you realize you see somebody, and you're like, fuck, I've seen that guy like 5 times before, and I think that's him. And you kind of like go to get a closer look, and you come to the realization, yeah, it's Kroll. He's making his way downtown. He's walking fast, faces past. He's homebound.
Oh, God, is he? Is he homebound?
Mm-hmm. It's evening. So it's time for him to head home from where he was earlier.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Yeah. I imagine you guys would be waiting for me somewhere else because I don't think you would just hang out for 2 days, following me around, right?
No, they'd probably get a hotel room and just stay there.
Right. So I guess I'd approach him and wave him down and be like, "Hey, Crow, right?"
As you say it, and he turns to look at you. He regards you and says, "You're familiar to me, but from a time long ago. That's right. You were lost, and I found you." Shit, I just dropped my ice cream.
Yep. Oh, now I gotta get a 5th, dude. Oh, you're just gonna finish it. Okay.
I love my shirt. I'm a mess. Bruh. Go ahead, Rusty.
Oh. Yeah, I actually wanted to talk to you about that a little bit. Fuck. What did Kroll know again that we needed from him?
The Emperor?
Yeah, the Emperor.
But we're talking to him about
yeah,
the
we need
mole
the Emperor to
emperor.
go over the
certain
stuff
orbs
for...
and liquid and
Right.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess he'd slyly say, is your partner still with you?
Unfortunately, my partner believes that I'm dead, and they've moved on and remarried.
I meant the one, in here. You point to his head.
You're referring to the Emperor.
Yeah.
In that
Very
case,
sly.
Jesus, it's so long I can't fit it in frame.
he says, in that case, yes.
Great. We actually, we're hoping to, my friends and I were hoping to get some info from you two. Is there a time that you might be available to, meet with us somewhere privately for a little while? That sounds sketchy.
Is that what you say too? That sounds sketchy.
Yeah, you would.
What is it you wish to speak with the Emperor about? The Emperor is
We want to
rather,
go over.
the Emperor is rather busy.
We want to go over the Sloko.
Local R.
The
Oh my god.
snake
did you
people that
seriously say
the mole developed. To
I do not
combat
know it.
opers.
I do not know what it is that you're referring to.
Right, but he might, so... I'm just hoping for a little bit of time, if you could spare.
I don't sleep much. How about you?
I do, now. But, it was tough being in the Time Temple. All the beds were made of stone.
You seem to have survived it well enough.
I had a good teacher.
There's something more to you than just that. The time doesn't seem to have affected you as much as it would affect others.
I might be, close blood relation to, some of the lopers in charge. Not that close, though.
You're a loper.
Are we just like doing this in the middle of town, just like looking around?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Hmm.
Something like that. Yeah.
Gives you a strange and unique perspective. You don't come off as
I did.
how I believe them to be. How I would expect them to be.
I didn't know myself for a while, actually. It wasn't until spent some time in the temple that I really came to terms with it.
They're a strange concept, he says. I learned of them through... what did they call themselves? There's some pretentious name. The Enlightened, I believe. The Selected.
Do I know that name?
Yes, that's right. That's what
I
it
don't
was.
recall that name.
It is the Chosen.
Oh, from a deer. Right. Yeah. The new ones? Kithel and Elliot?
No. Tonight. Long after the moon has passed its peak.
Okay. It's like 2 a.m.? Okay. Where?
My home.
Where? Which one's that?
You don't know?
No. I tell you what, it's fine. We can talk then. Just listen out for me.
Nods. He turns and starts walking.
Cool. Then I go back to the room we're in. Hey, Josh. Hey, Josh. Josh, I saw a cool picture of you earlier.
No, you didn't.
You
It
were
was pretty
looking over
sweet.
your shoulder.
Yeah. It was real stylized. Oh, there it is. There he is. Hey. Okay. All right. Okay. Hey. Hey, Josh.
You want to give
Buddy,
Josh?
look
You want to
good.
give Josh a quick smooch?
Which side is that? Is this? Hey. Oh, hey, Josh.
I mean, carve
Oh
a path.
gosh.
Carve a
Okay,
path
that's
for you.
it. That's all. Why'd you cut him in half?
I had to carve a path.
There's always a path for me. Hey, how you
So
doing?
weird.
I'm doing well.
Josh
Like a
is such a
snap can filter, like a face swap.
Josh is such a nice smile. Let's just keep his smile with it.
This is so weird. Oh, hey, Josh's smile, looking good. Dang, you brushed this morning, you say? Oh man, wow. All right, this just doesn't look right. Is this good? I fix the perspective. Oh, down a little bit. Good? No?
Make a snap cam filter from
Almost?
Josh's face. That'd be pretty amazing.
Anyway, what were we doing?
You were headed back to tell us. So I imagine you're like, okay, we're gonna meet like tonight, and then we'll just cut to us
Josh's
meeting
existential
Kroll.
crisis. Oh yeah, and I guess I'll do my brain stuff so I can ask him where the hell he lives.
Brain blast. I'm assuming it's the big one. The big house.
Huh?
Like the biggest
I don't
house,
know.
probably.
It'll be probably like the second or third largest home here. Yeah, because there's old families
Yeah,
that have been
okay.
here for a
We're
long time.
all linked. We're all linked. So after the sun, or sorry, he said after the moon goes up. Like
after
a
the
few
moon
hours after
passed,
the moon goes up?
like well after the moon's past its highest point.
Okay, so yeah, sometime past midnight then, when the moon's not too far down from its highest point, he'd connect all of us. So Yandis would connect all of us, and be introduce them, be like oh, and the Emperor too, if I can. So
Isn't
it'd be
it
three of
only
us
up to-
plus 2, so it'd be the Emperor too, if I
Oh.
can. Wait, oh,
That's
is
sick.
there a limit? I
Cool.
thought it was up to whatever I roll.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's up to whatever I roll.
Yeah,
but
you're
they
right.
have to go through you. We can't converse with them. So
Okay.
it's basically.
I left Josh's
So
smile on
he-
there for
he'd
you. Just
say,
so you know, Missy. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Hey Kroll, hey Emperor, this is Yondis.
Conscious
I'm ready to meet if you are, and I've got my two friends here with me, Rena the Destroyer and Ophios. Ophios is the Sloko I was telling you about.
We've met before.
Oh, perfect.
You are welcome to come to my home. You are welcome to meet with us. Understands that things are a little bit different than they used to be.
Can the Emperor, like, is he linked in this too? Like, do I have
He's
to
not.
attach him separate? Because I rolled a 5, so
Yeah.
I could attach all of us.
He's not.
He's not there? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No answer? Cool. Okay. Sure. Which house was yours again? And then we'll figure out directions.
He gives you like a
Either
description,
the
direction, whatever
door.
it is, and you make your way there.
Don't.
I
So-
want to look around as we're walking there.
Sure. Making your way downtown,
know.
look around at the ground.
That's
Crawl
a terrible
bound.
roll.
I
I just don't trust that this isn't a trap after knowing that we let.
You
Tyler,
always think it's a
Tyler,
trap.
Tyler, listen. If Wednesday can tell you anything, it's a trap.
So
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah, I know. It's
It's a trap.
Yeah, I've seen it.
so
Yeah,
Yeah,
Orpheus
that's
is on
what I was
guard.
just. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It's a trap.
Rena, are you gonna look around or no?
I guess if you're like making it a point to be like on the lookout, sure, I could roll a perception.
Those are so sketchy.
He's like, Rena, I failed my check. You're rolling too, right?
What do I see, Scott?
Cobblestone. House is predominantly made out of stone, like laid brick and stone. Occasional guards walking by. They check you guys out as you're going. Not because they find you attractive or anything, but because you're walking around in the middle of the night. Things like that. There's lanterns set throughout the streets that are
But
actually
like
lit.
nothing out of place.
I mean, this place feels out of place. Most of it here feels like a backwater.
Swamp.
Yeah.
Okay, more no
this
more
place is
out of
nice.
place than usual.
Oh no! In that case, no.
Okay. All right, cool. Then
Oh wait,
He's
wait.
like,
You
how
know
do
where
I
you
answer
are?
this without
Actually,
answering?
you know what? You actually see something fly in front of the moon for a second, and looking up. Hey, look at that! It was the wyvern.
Oh. Neat.
Oh no. Did we seriously lead that here too?
Has a lot of problems.
That's funny. Probably not.
Let's pretend I didn't see it.
Okay.
Everything looks fine. Obviously.
I assume that's going to be what it's like when we meet for our first time, Rena. Like,
Pretend I
Rena!
didn't
She's
see
looking
you.
down at
I'll be
you.
Yeah, and she's
"Oh,
like-
geez. God, you know what? I'm second guessing this. I don't think this is a good idea. He'll be like,
Could-
what do you mean? You
I
know,
really
let's go."
wanna
I'll
do-
be like,
Just pretend like you can't see him because he's so short. Standing taller than both
I'll
of
look
you.
above you.
Yeah, I really want to do a meeting
Damn,
Scott
you were.
POV where I'm just standing over my camera, just pointed up at my face. But he'd probably cry if I did that. I don't want to make Scott cry.
And you're like jumping up and down, like trying. Hey. I'm like, I guess he's not here. We better leave
Is he out there somewhere?
and go home. I guess.
Oh, Josh! Josh!
Oh, Josh!
I see Josh.
Josh! Yeah, he's so tall. Wow.
Taller than all of you.
What's that? All I heard was wee.
So, anyways, you guys don't notice anything out of the ordinary aside from the
Occasional
what's it
baby
called?
cry.
The wyvern overhead.
Okay, yeah. Let's head into Carl's home.
So you guys go and knock on the door. When you open the door, you know what I mean? The door opens up. It gives a nice little.
Neil?
As it creaks open. No, the house.
What are you doing?
The house in there is actually, it's a nice house, an old house made out of stone, as I said beforehand. It's an older house, and again, very nice, but it's not decorated at all. So when you walk inside, it feels very like cold and empty. So it has that kind of like feeling when you go walking in. You know, you walking in, he opens the door open for you and says, "Welcome to my home."
And he reverberates. Not this again.
Hold on, I have to use the bathroom. Wait here, please.
We can hear
This is
you.
the lowest end of comedy is fart jokes. And we're all laughing at them.
We can hear you. Oh, sorry. Just finishing up.
Damn it.
And then the bruh out of nowhere.
You just hear it. You just hear an echo as the door opens of us all leaving.
Please come again.
I just wanted to be clear. I'm laughing at you guys laughing.
It's not. It's like funny,
That's
but
okay.
it's just because I'm imagining us in RP, like our characters just standing in this big ass empty room.
Girl's like, "That's my girlfriend."
He's like, "Welcome to my home," and it echoes, and we're standing there weirdly, and then all of a sudden, somebody just like lets one rip, and we're all looking at her.
That's my
Sorry.
date.
I'm in the bathroom.
That's my date for the night.
Please come in.
It's just a toilet in the corner because
The echoing,
it's that
like-
big of the room. Yeah,
The sink
It's in the
water
corner,
echoing, so it
nobody's sitting
sounds
on
like-
it.
nobody. Yeah, you're like, what the fuck?
We're all sitting by the door, and then the door to the bathroom's on the other end of the building.
Oh,
Okay. Anyway,
Anyway, hi Kroll. Nice home. Hey Kroll.
I can't
Have
get
you
a
been?
courtesy flush. Sorry, I just saw that. It made me laugh. All right. You say, "Hello, Kroll." He says, "Welcome. This is my home for now, at least."
Making upgrades soon?
I don't know how much more of an upgrade there could be. Unless, of course, I'd rather not think of it. Come in. Shut the door behind you. Not everybody understands yet.
Sure, yeah. You live here alone, or are there people we need to be introduced to?
He looks at you, deadpan, stares you in the eyes, and says,
I already told you
I'm
my
never
wife.
alone.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, okay.
he says, "I'm never alone."
Oh, haha. Oops.
And then you hear
You
like
know
a
what?
as you see this like strange thick ectoplasmic form just kind of like rips itself out of his body and stands there before you. And the form you see before you is
That's
not like
new, right?
it being ectoplasmic is something that you never saw before.
Okay.
So yeah, you just see this like nasty goopy form kind of in front of him. And anyways, you see the a creature standing before you. Now, I don't want to say it's amorphous because it's not by any stretch of the imagination. It actually has a form and it has a hobgoblin form, but its features are not like finite enough to like make out all like the crucial details of identifying who they are and whatnot. Because unfortunately, it's ectoplasm, right? It has like an ethereal nature to it. It's like wisping and somewhat moving. So again, you can make out they're a hobgoblin male, strong features like strong jawline, all that fun stuff, but you can't make out super fine details. That being said, he stands there before you and says, "I heard you wanted to speak."
Yeah. Emperor, right? Is that what we should call you?
He looks you down and then back up again. "You can call me master." Carl looks at him and says, "Now, we have to behave and treat our guests well." "There's nothing to behave about. They are my creations.
Oh, you mean me and him?
She's Perrin, so technically all.
Oh, yeah. I guess that does make sense.
Mhm.
In a very roundabout way. Nice email, Rena. Where'd you get that?
Push.tv / Matthew was taken.
Oh, thanks.
Way to go! Way to go! Way to go!
He's
He's
taken
here.
somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's really horrible place called the Daelands.
Oh, that's
Think
funny.
you heard of him?
I don't
Have
think
you heard
you've
of
been
him?
there yet. I could take you there, Rita.
Please don't. I don't want to go.
I could take you down to the Paradox
Please.
City where the grass is
I don't
green.
want to
and the-
go. I don't want to go.
I don't want to go. Please.
Don't make me.
Girls are witty.
Yes, because we don't want to judge them for their physique, just their minds.
Yeah, that's where I was taken. Right. We wanted to ask you about the Sloko specifically, if you're willing to answer, Emperor.
You had questions about them? What aspect?
You want to ask?
Ophius then lets down his facade.
Sure. He looks over at Kroll and says, I'd really rather not speak to these servants. And Kroll just looks back at him and says, you have a lot of freedom now. You get much. It's a small favor to have a conversation. They're not interrupting anything of importance.
I think that means go ahead.
Yeah. Ophius will simply say, there was a time with a large elemental and 2 hobgoblins who stole my blood. Or 2 mole, I suppose. Who said I was suspected me of being yours, I believe.
He waits. When there's like a pause, he's like, is that a question?
Yes. The reason being is I'm from this time period and I ended up in that one.
As has been previously said, I do not understand the way that temple functions. I'm not someone who focused on those details. Kroll can answer those questions.
Regardless, my DNA may have been something you utilized.
Do you know what our DNA means? I mean, deoxyribonucleic acid is kind of like a...
My blood was likely used as a material for something of yours, I can imagine.
He just waits.
So please, do not describe me as a servant, for maybe I was the lead provider of what you were able to create.
He's still waiting for a question.
Regardless, there's a new form that has been created, it would so seem, by your own creation. And I need to know how the means to make such Sloko from the Vots under Sun's Rest.
I think I understand what you're trying to say. Your kind was created to hunt down the others. It is possible that after the fall of the Empire, the Lopers, as you call them, wave at Patrick
My
and
bad.
say, "Hello, Mr. Static. You're looking
How
awfully
was-
sexy today."
How was Zelda and Link?
I don't know if
How
he
wor-
met Zelda yet. I think he was just hanging out with Link.
Oh, you didn't meet Zelda yet?
Now Link, he come to town. He come to save the Princess Zelda. Ganondorf took her away. I can't remember how the song goes. It's been a
No,
long
keep
time.
going.
Can't remember how the song goes. There's an old song. Who was this System of a Down?
System of the Down to the Legend of Zelda song?
Isn't it? Is it a System of Arena? Is a System of a Down? Link, he come to town. He comes to save Princess Zelda. He took her away, and there she was today.
What do you say? Why are you
Wait,
just
am I-
moaning?
am I
You're just
crazy? Wasn't
moaning
that
now.
System of a Down?
Weird nightmares now.
I have no clue what's happening. right
Thanks
now.
for that. Sorry, chat.
Is it a System of a Down that did that song? Am I crazy?
What are you talking about?
Okay, that's I'm pretty sure System of a Down link System of a Down Zelda song. I'm almost positive.
Like a pop punk version, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't. That's the only thing I can think of.
Let me
but-
copy link address. I'm gonna share it to you guys in our thing. I can't play it on stream because of copyright infringement. But I'm gonna share it for you guys on Discord. I hope this is a proper link because I can't click on it. So this is gonna be regicide spoilers. Boom.
That's porn. Just kidding.
It's on YouTube. It's safe.
I doubt this was actually System of a
I'm
Down.
99.999999999% sure there's a System of a Down because the song came out prior to the existence of YouTube. I could be wrong though. I could be
Why
wrong.
is there DeviantArt pictures of Link in this music video?
We're running out of time.
I mean, I never actually watched this video before.
We need to get to a certain point, so it makes sense.
Anyways,
I get-
are we good?
Yes, sir.
Here's actually the answer. Here's actually the answer to the song. I'm actually reading an article from I've never been to the website called Kotaku before. From a website called Kotaku, and it says, "No, System of a Down did not make a Zelda song, but this guy did." And it says, so the song was actually made by somebody named Joe Plyman on an album called Rabbit Joint by a band of the same name. It was not System of a Down. So how did this become an internet fallacy? Over 10 years ago, the song was uploaded to Napster. Who knows how old this article is? This article is from 2012. So this is a reference to before 2002. Was uploaded to Napster in the wild days before the service was shut down and went straight. And it was uploaded as SOAD, The Legend of Zelda, or SOAD Zelda. Given this was the early 2000s, many people assumed it meant it was performed by System of a Down, particularly given the similarities between their vocals. So I am one of the plebs that was tricked by Napster days of, again, the early 2000s, before you could just Google something and have an answer. It was in the old days where you Googled things and the internet was a lie. It's still mostly a lie. So that answers that question. Tyler, he turns to you and says, I was in the middle of saying, so you had just asked about all that. He says, more or less that he assumes that what you're referring to was your people. Sorry, how after the Lopers, the downfall of the Empire, the Lopers had gotten a hold of the facilities, and they could have done their own experiments. I would not be able to speak to the experiments that they did.
But you would be able to speak to the experiments of the liquid that is used for such purposes, such as making us.
More than that, with the appropriate facilities, if I had this new creation, I could probably reverse engineer it back to what it was and how it was created.
I don't have the creation, but I do have the books that list the ingredients and possible makeup of what it was. My goal is to transform into this creature.
This creature was not a creation of the mole or myself. I would not trust what it would do to you. Beyond that, one does not simply transform. Creations are their own iterations. Transformations may be done on a minuscule scale to the living and the grown to see what kind of transformations can be done. But fully created, new fabrications must be done with even the most small and simplest form. More or less he's describing in vitro, but you know, that kind of terminology doesn't exist. It must be done in the most early stages, where the body is incredibly susceptible to the manipulations.
So you're saying you can't do it?
I'm saying you can't become it. The likelihood of you surviving a transformation is next to nothing.
I've faced worse odds.
He doesn't even laugh or respond. He's seen hubris and ignorance too many times to be amused by it. As the silence sits there for a minute, Kroll then turns to the Emperor and says, "You didn't speak to the other thing that he had brought, to the other point that he brought up. He had mentioned his blood. Though, he looks at you in a strange way. He mentioned an elemental. He mentioned blood. He mentions time. There was a time when you were out of time. I understand what you're saying. Where were you? What happened? And when was it?"
I don't know when. I can only describe it, but it was underground. Was it Hodgwen?
Yes.
The bank in Hodgwen. Well, what is now the bank. Underneath there is an elemental. It was significantly larger than it is now. Many, many years ago, the elemental would know exact details as best it can, but even it couldn't recall when we conversed with it. I encountered two, what I thought to be hobgoblins at the time, which I later found out I was mistaken, who thought me to be a creation of this emperor here, and took my blood.
I know where it is that you speak. I don't know of this encounter that you had. I have many minions. Or had. Each action each one takes I wouldn't know. As for blood, blood was used, as it always is used, in the experiments. Some blood would have volatile reactions. Most were just a waste. You are suggesting that your blood would have been one of the more volatile ones. Fine. You also suggest that maybe you would be an origin, but I couldn't possibly know that if I didn't know when this took place. A large elemental in that area. That means nothing. That elemental was rebound prior to my birth and remained in that size till after my fall.
Just how old are you? Do you even know?
It was centuries ago that I died. But my life came close to 1 century. As I was designed to live longer than the Lessers. It was, of course, with the blood of the sorry, because his bloodline is the oh shit, I have to remember. I'm so sorry. I think it's called the rain. I think he was the rain blood. That's right. It's the bloodline. The rain lineage is more potent than others. It was from this blood that the servants were created. They were meant to be the most regal of servants. I now understand that we should have used lesser blood. We gave them too much potential. 66 viewers, be scared. Jedi, be scared.
Ah! Oh.
Execute Order 66. Do it.
Would the existence of a Snaga statue perhaps place the time much better?
I know of Snago. I know of Snago well.
Is there
Or
any
stories
reason
of
why?
Snaga appearing?
Is there any reason why he would be so closely tied to the god?
You talking about him?
Well, yeah.
Just
yes.
confirming. Yep. I don't know you and your own connections to the god, but what I can tell you is this. You can feel it out there. The gods seem more interested today than they have been in a long time. When there's a pause that goes on for an unreasonable amount of time, Kroll says that it seems as though all the questions were answered. You can have yourself a good evening.
There is one thing.
Or not.
An ingredient I haven't been able to locate. Or ingredients, I should say. I was told you would know. Or at least one of you would. And I'd show the ingredients I haven't been able to collect.
Mm-hmm. He looks at the list of ingredients, everything that's there, and he chuckles to himself after reading it for a bit, because he, of course, can understand Loper very well. He says, mind you, your paper's now goopy, because he's ectoplasm. He doesn't have a form, he is ectoplasm. This is sloppy work. This is the work of an apprentice trying to appease their master and barely passing their grade. This is not refined and lacks all potential. I would not subject any of my experiments to this kind of anguish.
Then, if it's alright with Kroll, I offer you an opportunity.
He waits.
I challenge you to see if you are as good as you say you are.
He looks at Kroll and says, "This servant looks to manipulate. It's amusing." Kroll says, "What do we get in return?" He does not look very happy.
Kroll?
The Emperor does not look very happy. That Kroll just asked you that. For those of you in chat that are a little bit lost as to what the hell's going on, there's a hobgoblin here by the name of Kroll. Kroll, at some point in time in the past, in the 3-4 campaigns that have happened in this one homebrew world that are all interwoven with one another, at one point in time in the past, actually died, but was pulled back from the brink of death by some entity that he bound with to give him an unnaturally long and sustainable life. that entity was actually the wandering spirit, like soul, of a dead, brought back to life as an undead, and then re-killed, and then somehow stuck in limbo emperor of a previous hobgoblin, aka Mole Empire. This is the Mole Emperor from like centuries ago. Anyways, so Kroll now has a supernaturally elongated life bound to the Emperor. The Emperor lives as a specter that inside of Kroll, but sometimes Kroll will allow him out as either a specter to kind of like be around, or to physically come out as a goop of as like a ectoplasmic form. That way he has like a tangible form that can be interacted with. So that's why it seems like Kroll, who is clearly somebody who is beneath or even weaker than this powerful Emperor creature, seems to be pulling the chain here, is because one requires the other one to survive, just as that requires the other one. But since Kroll is the one that's linked to the physical world, the Emperor often has to cow to him. Anyways, back to you, Tyler. He turns to Kroll and says that. Kroll says, well, what do we get in return? And the Emperor looks very pissed off by the fact that Kroll just seems to be going along with it, or at least entertaining the idea. Back to you, Tyler. And of course, Rena and Messi, anything that you feel to chime in with. I know Messi has, but Rena has been mute. Go ahead.
See, I can't do this because this is meta knowledge, but I really want to say something.
Say whatever you'd like, man.
Something that he hasn't tampered with that Rena would know about that Ophios doesn't, and I can't. So I'm trying to think of. He would simply say, "What is of value to you?"
So you're gonna ask that?
Yeah.
Kroll would look at you. Not Kroll, sorry. The Emperor would look at you. Rising up in size, like his ectoplasm kind of like expanding outwards, so a little bit like thinner, if you will, as it's like expanding outwards, like if you like pull fluff to make it, larger. And he says, "Independence."
Maybe something more tangible, Emperor.
When you say the word tangible, he assumes that you're being mocking of him, and he like looks over at you with like this, again, domineering kind of look. I mean, the Emperor is not a weak force. So now, of course, your character knows Kroll, so he knows that he pulls the chains, and you don't really have to be worried about the Emperor, at least you don't believe so. And you're also a powerful person yourself. But it doesn't change the fact that it's a large and powerful force that's looking at you very angrily. Go ahead.
So he gets mad, but he doesn't offer anything else.
Nope. Because he looks at you because he's assuming you're mocking him with the word tangible. After he said independence. Clearly that's what he's lacking.
Basically looking past the Emperor, asking Kroll what Kroll wants.
Kroll looks at you and says, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what I want. I'm here now in Drazstone as a leader, if you will. It's not entirely something that I'm interested in. It's something I'm capable of doing. I don't know what I want. I thought I wanted to die. And then I did. But that didn't last. I tried again when I sat atop that temple. I thought the years would take me away. I'm not sure how many years passed. Maybe the Loper here would know better. But it must have been centuries, if not millennia, that passed while I sat atop there. And yet I didn't die. Here I am before you. But now I don't know if I want death any longer. I know what I want. I want purpose. Because without purpose, why live? And since I can't die, might as well put effort into finding a purpose.
Well, I do know of an area that would find you and that which is linked with you, gesturing to the Emperor. Helpful. Perhaps insightful, even.
I don't want to be somebody else's library. Somebody wishes to learn, they can do their own research. I don't want to be somebody else's purpose. I want my own. For now, I'll have to be satisfied with appeasing the Emperor. Maybe we can make him a little bit quieter. I can get some more sleep.
Do we still have the mental link up?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you
I
do.
assume. But you can also choose like just individuals.
You actually
to-
technically speak to Messi,
You
and
speak
he
to me, yeah.
translates to others.
So in her
so
mind,
you don't talk to Tyler. You talk to Messi. Go
right.
ahead.
So in her mind, she'd say to Yandis, oh, actually, I don't know if you would know who Laszlo is, but I think we told you about him, but I guess she'll just say powerful mage. Is he mage or wizard?
Who? Laszlo?
Laszlo.
That's a really good question. He used to be
Former
a wizard. Now he's I guess a mage works, because he used to be AC.
Okay, mage sounds good.
But that blew up in his face.
But
I don't get the joke.
Oh,
We-
there was a nuclear warhead that went. Just watch Josh's backstory. That's Thronekeeper Ash Session Zeros. Go ahead, Rena. I'm sorry, I'm talking over you.
We used to know, or we once met a quite powerful mage that might serve as a good starting point for some sort of detachment for the two of them. I'm not sure if that's worth bringing up here. His name is Laszlo. We told you about him before.
Between you and me, do you think it's a good idea for the Emperor to be on his own?
Not necessarily, but I do feel bad for Kroll.
And then Giannis will speak up almost like immediately as soon as she ends her sentence. Kroll, I noticed you didn't say anything when the Emperor said he wanted his independence. Is that something you desire as well?
If he had his independence, I'd likely have death.
That's fair.
The question is, if he had his independence, would I be the one to be at fault for returning him to this world? That death might come at a cost that I don't want to pay. I haven't decided if I care yet.
That sounds awfully honest from the guy about the guy who's literally standing next to him. Does the Emperor not look like mad at that? Is he just like, yeah, I know you want me dead, haha?
No. The two of them have come to terms. They live inside each other. They had to. It's like having a roommate, but you cuddle every night and to eat all the same food together and poop together. You're gonna be pretty intimate with the details you know of each other.
Of course you had to.
You're pretty intimate with the
Stop,
details
that's
you know
funny.
of one another.
Okay.
Also, like after that, again in her head, she'll say, I'm also not sure how good of an idea this transformation is for him. Anyway. Him being Ophios.
So,
But there's not really any stopping him, so.
yeah.
Ophius's mind will then wander and message towards Yondis.
Oh, hey.
Can you?
Oh, I'll talk about you.
Oh, you too? Oh,
New
no.
tab. Like
Yeah.
while you're texting about him, he texts you. Oh,
Hold
shit.
on. Yeah.
Do you know of anything we can offer him? The Emperor seems interested in experiments. He was a creator of creatures, after all. I really wish I could broadcast the both of them, but I can't.
Well, I mean, I'll share that to Rena if that's something you want.
Yeah, that's one of those things where he more or less just takes the message and pings it that way pretty quickly.
Yeah,
It's kind of
Rena,
just like
you heard that as
CCing,
well.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
forward,
Ping.
I forward all my messages. Yeah.
You've got mail.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything off this guy. I really don't know what he wants. It seems that he doesn't know either. That's part of the issue. I mean, we could keep throwing offers at him and maybe he'll take one, but at the end of the day, I think I don't know what the odds are that we're gonna get the help we want here. If you want to offer a spot in helping you transform, if you think that's something that'll sell, I mean, feel free to pitch it.
I already have, but I think he'd be more interested if there was something that was interesting to him.
The in your mind's messy, Kroll, who's also linked, is going to say, "Are you having an aside inside of your mind?"
Yeah, we're trying to figure out the next steps here. We don't want to let the opportunity to speak to you and the Emperor go so soon. We're just trying to gather our own thoughts so we don't make him more angry than he is.
He's always angry. Don't be worried about that. But I have to say, this is rather rude. Don't forget,
Understood.
I'm aware of these abilities.
Yeah, and he'll say understood outside of his mind.
Yep.
Be like, perhaps we can speak freely.
I'm wondering if there's a creature in which you have not been able to tamper with yet, Emperor.
There are many creatures that only exist today because I either created them, my father created them, my grandmother created them, her mother before her father before her, or they are the offspring of one of our creations. You are welcome for your existence, each one of you.
Such a douche.
Thanks,
he is.
Granddad. Love you.
You only
so
exist because your grandmother and I had a little fun that one night. You're welcome.
I
Like,
brought you into this
Grandpa!
world.
Go ahead.
I think you know the rest.
Are you so disinterested in at least seeing what this possible transformation could bring?
Say that one more time.
Are you so disinterested in at least seeing what this possible transformation could bring
And this is specifically to Kroll, correct?
to the Emperor?
Okay, the Emperor? The
Mhm.
Emperor said,
I always like experiments, but you're not giving me the correct materials. This recipe sucks. I would have to draft up the correct way to go through the ritual. And then also the subject you wish for me to use does not function. You cannot transform a full adult creature like this. It is not possible.
But if you were an egg, we could do it. Is that what you're saying?
If I had baseline materials, including a
what's the word I'm looking for? When there's like a seed inside the egg, what's it called? Fermented?
Insemination.
Fermented? Right?
Insemination.
Yeah, inseminated?
Fertilized?
Yeah, fertilized. Thank you.
Fertilized.
Oh, I was like, what?
Fermented.
baseline materials and a fertilized egg. Yes, I could do this.
William, you know, that's kind of funny.
Kroll says, I have no intention of utilizing that temple if that's the next question you're going to ask.
You know, not a lot of people seem to be. I keep suggesting it, and everyone keeps turning me down.
I left that place after spending somewhere between centuries and millennia there.
I don't know how much time passed. I wish to see new things in this world.
To the
I also
Emperor again.
lost-
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Rena.
Yo, Josh.
You can go.
Flip a coin. What are you talking?
Rena, go.
Okay, I was gonna say to the Emperor again. Earlier you mentioned not necessarily this transformation, but well, changes or adjustments to one such as Elfios. Is there something else that you could possibly do that might mimic the enhancements this transformation would bring, if any?
I don't even know if this kind of transformation is feasible. The best thing to do is to draft up all the materials, have the appropriate facilities to work with them, draw the blood of the baseline subjects that you're going to use to create the fertilized egg, and see how much it affects either of their blood. Then you would take the egg and start the experimentation. A typical experiment will take 4 or 5 years before you get truly fruitful results.
Seems we have our answer, Elfios.
So, not to go on a side tangent here,
Seems
Emperor.
this man who thinks he's a god is not a god after all.
Oh, well, that's gonna make it a lot harder for me to get the answer I wanted. Emperor, you created both the Sloko, or your work ended up creating both the Sloko and the Lopers, right?
I created the Lopers. I created the Perrin. I created the Sloko.
And how do you feel about them now? You regret any of that?
He contemplates the question. You roll an insight check.
Oh, fucking awesome. Please tell me I'm getting something. Insight. Come on.
I'm also paying attention.
All of you guys, of course, all roll an insight check.
Oh, great. No!
Oh, it was
damn.
so close to that 20.
All right, Tyler, roll lower than both of them.
I really hope Ophios gets
Get that
this.
20.
If we have luck, please use it.
Okay, but Tyler's not allowed to use the other luck. It explicitly says, because Tyler blew it, don't let Tyler use it. Only let Rena or Messi use this one, Scott. You can still trick them,
Okay.
though.
Okay. Thanks for the raid. Hi.
Oh, hello, Luna. Oh, hi, Luna. Is that how you say it? Did I say it right? Or did I say, hi, Luna.
Hello, Slunar.
Hello, Slunar. How art thou?
Is it? Yes, Lunar.
Slunar.
Slunanar.
Hey, Slunanar. Is it weird that I find your brother sexy?
Sheesh.
You're gonna make my life fucking sick.
Is that
Are you,
is that
what
weird?
the fuck is wrong with you?
Is that weird that I want to stare deep into his pupils and just like take his soul into my own? Is that weird?
I don't.
All right, cool. Let's keep going. Well, he thinks my tractor's sexy. It really turns him on. So anyways, we
What an awesome, awkward thing to say. I love this.
it makes me happy.
Rita, how do you feel about this? Is this as good for you as it is for Scott?
I need a refill.
I'm glad you like the mugs I bought you.
It's great.
It's
Anyway.
like you're holding me as we
What we
talk
doing?
about your hubby. All right. That was good. All right. Sorry. Let's keep going. So, Messi, the last thing you said was, no. You guys rolled insight check. Tyler, you're the one that actually got a decent insight check. Tyler, you can tell that he's kind of confused by the question. It's like, how do you feel about them? Like, how do they make you feel? And he's kind of confused.
But Tyler, this isn't strange to you, whereas they may have interpreted wrong. You're actually the person to succeed in the check because it's like asking you how, like in your earlier years, not nowadays, how would you feel about killing somebody? It's like, I just do it. Like, I have an obstacle, and this is something in the way of the obstacle, so it just must be done. Like you know what I mean? It's like there's no emotion.
His
like
character. Okay, his
yeah.
character.
Yeah. It's like
Not
it's
just Tyler when he was a young
obviously
person.
not Tyler. So well maybe. I mean, a lot of puppies went missing in his neighborhood. So, anyways,
okay.
so he's upset because if people check the reels, they'll know it's true. So anyways, Tyler, you understand that he's confused by the question and takes him a couple moments to identify what's even being asked. And when he realizes what's being asked, he actually looks somewhat amused that the question was asked, because it took him a moment to realize that he meant like, are you connected to them? Do they make you have feelings? Because clearly they don't, right? And so he will finally respond, and you identify all of that. They however don't. So he responds saying, I suppose I should have a degree of pride for them. They've been able to outlive the Empire. For now. An adversary that isn't very challenging is not worthy of the title.
So they're an adversary to you?
Considering the Empire fell, I would say yes. Though I suppose I don't have to place the burden of that on the shoulders of the Sloko. I guess in the case of the Sloko, I should have disappointment. You failed in your task of destroying the Lopers when they were few in number and weak in power.
Well, I mean, Ophios can probably tell you more about it, but we've been fairly successful recently.
How many have you slain?
Is he looking at Ophios when he says that?
Yep.
Okay.
What is it? 4? 3?
Four, I think, including a backstory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one. Yeah, 4.
And one was a Tarumbar, so that might, I don't know if that works. If you
No,
understand
one was
what
a
that means.
prince.
It counts as like
Oh, one was a
as like
prince.
4. Yeah, that counts as like 4.
Excuse
so.
me, in the immortalized words of Gimli, it only counts as one.
Fuck. Fuck.
4. But it seems to me that it was a flaw in your design.
I won't lie. You brought the fire with that one. That was pretty good. I won't lie. That was pretty good. It was actually really good.
That's to break RP to compliment him. Like, oh shit.
That's
dude,
gonna
I'm
come
so
off
sick.
guard.
You're
Oh
so
shit.
badass,
Kind
dude.
of sad now,
fuck.
yeah.
Tyler, why don't you go ahead and roll a persuasion with advantage on that one? I won't lie. That was good. That caught me off guard.
With advantage, you said?
Yeah.
Damn. Are you persuasive? I feel like you have good charisma. That's like your
I have good
spellcasting, mod,
charisma,
right?
but I don't have this checked.
Ooh, that's still pretty good.
Tyler, you're not allowed to use that of the luck die.
Yeah,
So
that's
totally do not press that luck button.
Can I use his luck button for him?
No.
Fuck.
So 15?
If I'm not allowed to use that luck die,
You are totally not allowed to use that luck die, Tyler. It's not allowed.
well, screw them.
16.
And the reason why you got a 1 instead of a higher number is because Joey wrote luck it instead of using the new emote.
Joey,
See?
you're timed out for an hour.
Yep, he's late. He's late. Did you like that they're fuzzy dice, but they're D4s because they're luck dice? Like they're fuzzy dice. Like that was like that made me happy. I was like fuzzy dice, like they're lucky, but it's D4s because I thought it was funny.
Like a rabbit's paw?
So, anyways, you say it sounds like there's a flaw in your design. He said so there's a couple of moments of pause, and then he says, many generations removed. You want me to recreate this recipe, to grade this work. That can be done easily. But you will never succeed in this experiment without the appropriate facility or baseline material.
That's not a no, is it?
In or out of game?
Out of game. Maybe I should say it in game.
Ophius will pause for a second, and he'll lean into the same thing he said before, and simply say, "Over time, I was created, and from that, the most success has come. If you want to see your work succeed like you intended, it seems to me that I would be your best subject for that."
You have a lot of faith in yourself.
It's well placed.
I'm curious if there will be an emotional reaction from your companions as they watch you wither and die because the experiment isn't meant to function on adults.
I mean, I'd look away, but I wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, I think we just wouldn't answer. We just wouldn't say anything to that. I don't think that's
and he'd just say, "There's more to me than you realize."
Everything inside of you was placed there by me. I could build you, and I could break you down with equal amount of effort.
It's funny how much I know that is false.
I actually don't know what you mean by that.
I'm referring to the Naga scale.
Oh, gotcha. He says, I assume these books that you've brought before me, I assume that these came from one of the laboratories that they used.
It seems the Lopers were scared of my kind, that eventually we would break through, and attempted to create a creature that we would consider our own, and have it slay us, and they failed, as far as I know. Or maybe they succeeded. Either way, it's an opportunity. You want your creation to fulfill its purpose, do you not?
Oh. That was a good one again. You can roll another persuasion with advantage.
You're killing it! Woo! I wish we had more luck. Hey, chat, please.
Wow. You can get a little beggy.
I would, but I can't, chat. Because I have 101 daddies.
It's 18.
That's good.
He thinks for a moment. He thinks for a moment and says, "Oh, go on." Because I have to open my throat, sorry. He thinks and he says, "This facility, where is it?"
It's my home, isn't it? They took my home and they were doing it there. In... what the fuck did they call it?
Sun's Rest.
Sun's Rest. Did he say Sun's Rust?
Sun's Rest.
Sun's
Crawl,
Rest.
Crawl used the correct name.
Okay, just checking.
It's a defilement by that cunt Rayrin.
That's funny.
There's a pause. Crawl would actually break the silence and say, well, as far as we know, Rayrin's dead. To which the Emperor would say,
That bastard Rayrin deserves what he gets.
What he gets. Yep.
I knew that was coming.
Seems you care a lot about him. Listen, Emperor, we it seems that our interests, interestingly enough, are still aligned with one another. We just wish to give ourselves the best possible chance to remove this country, Paradel, of Loper rule, and it seems that's more or less what you had in mind when you created this Loco, right?
They had one task. Kill the Lopers.
Well, then it seems we're all on the same page. Maybe good fortune shines on us all today.
There's
Trying to
no
break the
way they
tension.
would allow me back into that facility.
I'm not entirely sure the new chosen that have taken over in, what did they call it? Valoran. I'm not entirely sure they all know of the relationship between me and you, Emperor. So it is possible that that can be done. He looks to them and says,
What do you mean?
well, I've been doing a bit of research because, this stupid job that you've made me have. And it seems as though Valorant has had a transition of leadership as of late. We encountered them when we all met in Hardgwen at the embassy they have there. And it seems as though the chosen are all different. The new chosen wouldn't necessarily know all the finer details about us, and we could use that to our advantage. Perhaps a diplomatic situation that we can do with Sun's Rest.
Yeah, and if I might add, we are very well connected with the Adir rule, so we could probably speak to them as well if we need to.
I don't know if you're having a hand in my diplomatic talks would be a good idea or a bad idea.
Me either.
He shrugs and looks at the Emperor. The Emperor says,
They should all just do as I say.
Kroll says, unfortunately, that's not the case right now. So in the meanwhile, we are going to, of course, have to get this approved by the rest of the council for us to have a diplomatic trip over there. Otherwise, we're going there on our own personal business, and that would make it a little bit more suspicious. So maybe we should.
Another thing I might want to add, their hands are pretty tied right now. It seems that the planes are giving them some trouble currently, so there's a lot of chaos running around. We could use that as a guise. You need it, maybe just say you're researching it.
The planes? What do you mean?
It seems they've opened some physical space over what city was it?
Curseful.
First fall.
Cursefall.
The moats have always been around the forest cities.
It seems that they're not working anymore, or do you remember, Reno or Ophios, what the problem was with them?
Seems we killed a creature that had something to do with the other planes and sent it to a realm in which it didn't belong.
What are you referring to?
Speaking more of the moats, but yeah, we can show our hand here. We accidentally sent something to someone, and a demon came and gave us some wishes. We don't know much. We could speculate, but
What did you do?
you want to tell him, Brina?
She just like shoots you a look like, dude, what the fuck? It's not exactly what they did, it's what I did.
You've been in the laboratory.
Multiple times, yes. Well, twice, I suppose.
What did you do?
Oh no! Oh shit! Oops.
Oh well, we had an incident with Ophios before and found that place by well, someone told us of it and thought there might be something that could help, and there was. It was the lab, I suppose, itself. But there was a creature there.
There would have been many creatures there.
It was a
there were.
undead child, baby,
No.
and we well, Rena was able to slay it, and it seems its soul was consumed by some kind of demon shard, and then a devil came, and we talked to it for a little bit and made some wishes.
You sent its soul to hell? Do
I
you
love
know
this.
what that was?
Something important, I assume.
It was the first.
Oh shit! Oops. Was that?
When you have a successful experiment, you keep a baseline. You keep base material, something you can easily revert back into fully usable material. I always had a little bit of backup on me just in case. But I had a baseline that was kept inside of a jar to be slightly reverted and then used to go forward. These creatures that you now worship as the martyr and the arbiter, they were created of that baseline. For lack of better phrasing, in your simple minds, that was their older sibling.
Oh well, well, we buried it on the surface, and its soul is no longer in it. And then the plains opened over Cursefall.
You sent its soul to hell.
Not me, but we didn't really know what was happening when it happened. It just sort of seemed it was also the baby, so we did what we had to, and we didn't realize the implications.
No, you really don't. You truly don't.
Well, it
Well,
just happened
it's-
like
What's
a
done
week
is
ago.
done.
That thing made hyper absorbent seeds. Whereas others float in the vats, that would absorb the vats, giving it incredible power. How do you think the moats function? They had elementals bounds to them. Elementals do not come from nowhere. They were created, they were fabricated. I would take the seeds and float them in the vats until they absorbed enough that they had incredible amounts of power. And then those seeds, or children, if you want to have a foolish mind, would be sent into the appropriate plane. Then those planes would spit out an element of the appropriate power that was needed. We would take that and bind it at the temples. It would give the moats the power to continue functioning. I experimented beyond what it was that my father did before me. And I created something more. I created... what was his name for her? Venny is what they called her. He called it Lucy.
While he's talking about these seeds, Ophios is reaching into his pocket and pulling out a seed.
Do you still have that
Yes.
in your pocket? Why do you have that in your pocket?
Hey, I pulled it out at one point and I put it back in my pocket.
So you pull out the seed. He's not mindful of what you're doing at the moment because he's kind of like in lecture mode. You know what I mean?
He's yelling at me, and I'm like, oh.
He says, with it, I made Felusi. When that works so incredibly well, I then, again, did my experiments. It's made an Aurorum.
What are these words?
You now refer to them as the Martyr and the Arbiter. Worshipped as gods because instead of being sent to the appropriate planes in their infancy, they came to full understanding.
Okay.
Seeds, you say? And Ophios is just holding it up, looking at it.
That is a seed of life.
So...
No, hold on. Wait, that came from the black stuff, right?
That came from the light side.
Is it a seed of life? I just want to confirm.
That's what you call
the black
it, I
stuff
think.
was like the weird pory stuff that was like
I have to-
disease or something.
No,
Compacted.
the little smushy ball, that was from the light side because that was literally life. It was tons of bacteria and whatnot because that would come from life, not from death, right?
I'm pretty sure the seed came from the light side too, but I can't remember.
You gotta give me a second though. I have to get to my old
I
notes.
remember the weird
I haven't
spongy
been,
thing.
I haven't been on this chart in ages. Give me 1 second. It's loading right now. There we go. Not regicide
Don't put it in the
sheet.
Emperor's mouth.
I'm not putting it in the Emperor's mouth.
Here, eat this ectoplasm.
Oh,
man.
there were technically 2 seeds. Chat, do you remember which seed he has? Did he
It
have the
was the
seed that
seed
came
that
from the
you
inky side or the seed because there's 2 seeds?
It was the seed that you said if I dropped it in a lake, life would spring from it or whatnot.
Wait, do you have the squishy thing?
Not the squishy
No,
thing,
that's not that.
Not the
We got
kill
rid of
thing.
that.
It was the thing
This
that
is the
countered
good.
the
This
kill
is the one
thing.
from the light side. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Like I'm
It countered.
Because there were 2
it
different
100%
seeds.
sure.
It countered the.
So he
sponge,
says,
the growth sponge.
he says, that's the seed of life. That is different, simpler in its design.
So
That's right. That's right. Seed of life. Yep.
obviously, Emperor, we've made a grave mistake, and people are trying to clean up the mess that we accidentally, like nodding to Rena, created. Do you? Oh, was that a person? Did we? Is there a way we can? Do you know of anything that we? Should we just do nothing? Shut up.
I do not know what happens because of what you did. As I've said before, I did not study these things. I did the experiments to aid others in their tasks. I did the experiments for myself.
Was the baseline just the physical components of this creation? Or was it more than that?
It is the raw material. What in modern day a science you would understand as being like stem cells.
Okay, so if he said the raw material, though,
Because again, for those of you that are longtime viewers of the channel, going back to the very beginning of the first campaign of all of them, around when Regicide first started as a campaign, we're talking I think the last session of season 2 of Kingmaker, there was a vial that had to be destroyed for Ninkaro to raise. That vial was, how he said he always kept one around his neck just in case. That was an example of the baseline, more or less a group of stem cells. Was kind of what he kept around his neck. But anyways, go ahead, Rena.
but yeah, if he just says like raw material, I should look to Ophios and say, well, we still have it, don't we?
Well, we know where it is. It's at
Oh,
Sun's
that's
Rest.
right.
If you were talking about the dead body, it lacks all significance.
Well, it was dead already to begin with.
No. You're saying the soul was still inside of it. Death, undeath, that doesn't matter.
Is there no way to get the soul back in it?
I don't know about these things, as I've said. Perhaps you
Right.
can go to hell and figure it out.
Ha, funny. Listen, Kroll, I know you said you're still looking for your purpose, but just on behalf of us and the mistake we've made, do you think there's stuff you could do in a deer that might be helpful to, helping us fix this problem?
He says to Kroll.
Mm-hmm.
One second. Kroll thinks to himself and says, well, I do have an understanding of magic. When I woke up from death, I woke up with much knowledge. Of that knowledge included an understanding of death. Sorry, an understanding of magic. If my magic can be of assistance, I would assist. I would assist you.
Do you know much of the plains?
No.
We know somebody who does, though.
Elliot, I assume?
Kroll, the Emperor looks at him and says, "What do you mean?" And Kroll says, "I don't know much." "You know more than I ever did." "I still don't know much." And Elijah, nope, sorry, other one. Yondis, who is someone who has a proper education, knows that it is the ignorant man that believes they know much, but it's the educated man that knows they know little. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like one of those things when because Kroll's actually a very high wisdom character, has decent intelligence. With him saying he doesn't know much, that's just him being
Modest.
modest, but also truly believing he doesn't really know that much. Though in this room, definitely knows the most.
Listen, Kroll, these people are, when it comes to the plains, almost as inept as I am. They're arguing about some basic stuff, I think. So maybe having someone with even a foundation would be worthwhile. I don't know if you two agree, kind of looking at Rena and Ophios. Do you think maybe we could assist with this?
What
or
are you
should we
asking
just-
of me?
I'm saying
Maybe-
we may have found you a purpose. Or he's saying, I should say.
At
What
least
purpose?
temporarily, just to help us fix the planes physically appearing all at once in one place.
Balance.
He thinks to himself. He's like, I'm not sure if this is a purpose I'm interested in. Perhaps retrieving that soul from hell. That sounds interesting. Hell sounds like a place where I can either find purpose or find death. I'll have to call up Jake and see if
That
he wants
sounds
to
great
do
to me.
a mini-series at some point in time.
That sounds great to me. That sounds better.
I mean,
Ooh,
yeah.
ooh, Aurorum crawl in hell.
Oh my, that's got a great name to it. 'Cause
Right? Come on.
it's like crawl.
yeah. That sounds good.
Clip
All
that,
right.
send it to Jake, please. Oh, Jake's
Yeah,
here.
please.
Hey, Jake.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, Jake. You're welcome.
Who's Jake's
We're doing fun
co-stars?
things today for you.
Jake's co-stars are Neil and Tesh.
It's spelled Krol, just so you guys know. For all of you that are curious, Krol. Crawl. All right.
Dumb cat.
All right, so anyways, continuing. Kroll says, I might be interested in that, but for me to even know where to go or how to get there, I suppose I would have to see the body and how it left. Even more of a reason to go visit Sun's Rest. He looks at the Emperor, don't you think? I have no intention of going to hell. He looks at him and says, is it because that's what you've been trying to avoid this whole time? I am better than such a place.
Sounds
Yet-
like you're kind of afraid.
He looks at you again very angrily
Oh, shit, I should stop.
and says, do you even know of what you speak? Do you know what hell is?
I've only ever seen the demon that came from it, and I was scared of him, I must admit.
I have never visited hell. I know almost nothing about it, but I know of one thing. Snaga can call it his home. And that is intimidating enough.
Yes. Sorry, I'm excited about this.
Snaga's half a demon, half a devil. In his origin story.
That's
Which
great.
is
What's the
crazy.
difference?
Demons and devils don't intermingle really, but either way.
What's crazy about that is that's the god my character worships.
Hey, Joey.
He has a different interaction with your god than you do, though, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, Snaga, I love that guy. He's super nice. This is the
That's-
evilest character in our campaign.
He's like, oh, that's the one.
It was a match made perfectly.
A match made in hell. Yeah, I know you want to say it.
So, as there's like an awkward silence sitting there, Kroll then looks to the Emperor and says, "So we're going to convince the council?"
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Kroll says, "So we're going to convince the council?" And then the Emperor turns and looks at the camera and says, "Steve, can they
Next time.
go? Steve, can they go? Steve,
Please, Steve, please.
Steve.
Steve,
Steve?
please, Steve.
I had
come
two really
on.
good liners here.
Steve, can they go?
Steve.
Come on,
I want to
Steve.
go to hell.
Steve.
It does sound fun. It does
Come on,
sound fun, right,
Steve.
Steve?
They're gonna save the
Steve.
god
Come on,
and the
Steve.
planes.
Oh, we gotta give him, you know.
And they're gonna take a baby from hell and put it back in its dead body.
They're gonna save it.
Steve.
What are you doing, John? What are you doing, Scott?
My favorite line right now is Jake. Kingmaker helps two gods ascend. RC, hold my beer.
I know. I was like, oh, yay.
Who said that? Who said that?
Jake.
When?
Wow.
He says, "Let's go, baby." Where did he say that?
Up, it's further up.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Oh, that's awesome. Man, that's a shirt. That's a fucking shirt.
Helps two
Reg-
gods ascend. Regicide, hold my beer.
Yeah. That's a shirt. Oh man. There's so many shirts I want, but I don't my sister-in-law did tell me, she's like, if you have like really important ideas of shirts that you want, I'll totally make them for you so you can have them. And I'm like, with what time? I live a crazy busy life and you make me look like a lazy fuck. I'm not even joking. She is nuts. Like, she's nuts.
Seems like Steve has a query before he's willing to accept the terms.
Yes.
I have no idea what he's even talking about. What things
Seems like
cost.
he wants to buy something.
I have no idea what he's even talking about. Like we're talking. No
Hey,
idea.
Scott,
Yeah.
Is there something in the way of aid for his developments that we can do?
What are you talking about?
Oh, Steve seems to want to buy things, so you know.
Oh, he's talking about BP most likely.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, he's talking about Kingdom BP, and one BP costs 4,000 gold pieces.
Steve, how about we build you an orphanage and we'll fill it for you?
He's talking about
How's that
prepping hexes. Is usually that's written into the rules for how much it
Jesus
costs based off of the
Christ,
type of.
Messy.
That's pretty fucked up. That's usually the cost that's usually written in the rules, and I don't know what repairing he's talking about off the top of my head. But either way, so to you guys, why don't we pick this up next time on My Throat Hurts? Are we playing next week?
No, next week's.
No.
Well, you guys are. I'm gone.
That's
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
That's right. So I almost feel like next week what should happen is while they try to convince the council, Ophios can kind of like go with them and spend some time with them or whatever it is, maybe snuggle up and cuddle with them or whatever. Either
With
that
the
or,
council?
or talk to his god. No, I meant those two. While these two schmucks here do something else entirely different. So we can do that.
We could do the excursion where we get all the materials that the Emperor needs and. things
No,
like that.
I'm not going to do a fetch quest. That's kind of boring.
Do it
Yeah.
off camera.
I'm
That's
talking
what
about
Ophios
off
is
camera
doing, off
because I'm
camera.
gone.
Please, Steve, mini-series depends on it. That's hilarious, Jake. That's good.
I mean, it's true.
That's good.
I won't lie.
Scott, are we doing well? Are we gonna fix our mistake, or are we just gonna cause more problems? Because I feel like every single time we try to do something good, we end up ripping the world in half. And it's just getting smaller halves. We're just getting like down to quarters and eighths and 16ths. It's like,
That's
Jesus.
all right.
Actually-
That's all right. I'll fix it by TDAing the situation. Okay.
I mean, I'm still super intrigued about the blood of me in the past and how that was utilized and if it relates to this potential. And
Jake
oh,
and
it's just really interesting.
Will, Jake and Mathis. That's an interesting one.
Ooh.
That'd be quite the renegade crew.
I just don't know if Mathis would be able to swing it.
I don't know, but you said Mathis, Will, my
That's it.
brother, and Jake. Say Mathis would fucking love a campaign in hell. I won't lie. If it was like,
Yeah, he
if
would.
he could guarantee like 8 sessions or something like that, he could do that. Jake, obviously, and the two of them know each other, so that's nice. But Will, my brother, is not possible. He has 2 infants. There's
That's true.
not even possible. Not even fucking possible. So, Rena, what have you been up to lately? Anything exciting? Anything worth even talking about? I mean, like, it's like you were born of blood or anything.
What does that mean?
Well, gee, Scott, when you put it that way, I guess not.
Are you making fun of Tyler's character here? When you said that? Born of his own blood? Is that what you're trying to say? Okay, moving on, I guess.
Plot twist,
There's
end
a
of the
lot of really
campaign. Ophios is
interesting
going to be a
things.
god.
Go ahead, Rena. What you up to?
We played more Bloodborne today. I actually got really far.
2 bosses.
Sick,
Ooh.
yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Was it 2? It was 2.
The amygdala and
No,
the
was 3.
skeleton thing. And
It was
what's
3.
What was the third one?
The blueberry boy.
I didn't.
Did you beat him?
No.
Oh,
Blueberry boy?
okay.
I'm
well, I
working
got
on
3.
it. I'm working on
I
it.
got 3.
It makes me
I'll
think
get
of
the third
Willy
one.
Wonka.
It's like a
It's
big
not that
alien
kind of
guy.
blueberry.
I'll link you.
Okay, yeah. So it's yeah, that was cool. That's been a lot of fun. I have so many new games that I want to play. I just like haven't had time because I'm so busy. But we're still doing our Pokemon Nuzlocke as well. That's really all I got going on at the moment.
Tyler, you I know you're not going to be doing a lot of stream stuff because you're about to have somebody stabbing your throat repeatedly.
Yep.
But do you have anything exciting going on prior to the stabbing? And when do you expect to come back from the stabbing?
I do not have anything particularly exciting. I am going to be on roll for it on Sunday morning. Sunday morning Pacific time, Sunday midday East Coast time. For another Warhammer Commander post. And let me tell you, chaos over there has just unfolded in our Warhammer only war campaign where if you know anything about Warhammer, think orcs, Eldar, and rebels against the Imperium. And we are on a planet where orcs just landed. It's gonna be chaos. So that's exciting. Outside of that, I may try and do a talking stream before my surgery, but it's hard to say. I have some family stuff this weekend, but surgery is coming up pretty soon. So
Is it Thursday or Wednesday?
the surgery? Like the
Yeah,
surgery
yeah.
date? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
You don't
this
have to
Thursday
say,
or Wednesday.
but-
I mean, I've been trying to keep the actual surgery
Oh.
date private,
Absolutely.
but
You're fine.
just because people can try and look up stuff up and figure stuff.
No,
out.
you're perfectly fine. You are perfectly fine. Absolutely, you should. So
Mhm.
I may even be way off base. I just know you're not here next week. So, either way, it's actually Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's when we do the stream.
Monday
So, yeah.
taking place in the Cincinnati Airport Terminal.
We're gonna
Live
live stream it. Yep, live stream the event.
Yeah, Tyler, I know your surgery starts at 9, but so does regicide. So you think you'll be there on time, or
Dude,
You'll be-
listen, I can do both. Just wait.
Guys, Steve thinks he actually gets to decide whether or not an NPC walks away. That's funny.
That's so funny, Scott. Thanks for telling us that in private.
Yeah.
Oh, very private. Yeah.
And Messi, what are you up to since your throat is also going to get stabbed repeatedly recently soon?
But that has more to do with the dicks I've been hugging. So, not so
Been hugging
much.
dick.
Are there a lot of Richards in
Yeah.
your family?
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, got a couple uncles. No. Yeah, same thing, pretty much. Bloodborne, Pokemon, this stream, and Star Wars. Yeah, I don't think I do a stream that Rena is not involved in at this point. So,
Yeah.
so there you go.
So, when you guys get married?
Well, I'm talking to
Whatever
Cryptic about
Cryptic
it right now.
proposed is.
Yeah, I heard Rena
Yeah.
was a Mormon, and I just say, hey, power to you. Why should the men be the only ones to be able to have four spouses? Rena,
Oh
you should
no, it
have
is. It's me and Cryptic.
Don't give up my
actually.
ideas and my hopes and dreams of a secret harem, Scott.
Well, I was actually Cryptic
Reverse
had already
harem.
started. We've been emailing.
It's not a
So-
reverse harem. It's still a harem.
Is it still a harem?
Yeah, it's still
Anyway,
a harem.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cryptic and I are drafting right now our documents to sign so we can get this engagement going. So yeah. What do you mean I'm lying?
No, Thursday night is totally being saved up for a campaign that I haven't hinted at all whatsoever sometime in the near future, if ever I get time to put it together. It's a really shitty joke.
Jesus, Messy.
All right, awesome. So, guys.
So,
Just to be clear, we're not filling the orphanage.
No, they're
That's
keeping
not
it quite
not
empty.
a thing. Not a thing that we're doing.
we'll build it.
I don't
As
know.
people
let's see
as
if I
people
can
go by
persuade
the
her.
orphanage, Rena just
Hey!
solves the problem.
I rolled a 20 in persuasion. I think we might be able to build the orphanage, Messy.
Not a natty 20. Messy, anything else
Okay.
you wanted to say about yourself? Like how beautiful you are and why people should
let me
follow
roll-
your butt?
Yeah, let me just roll real quick advantage deception here so I can get some orphans.
Not the orphans.
Looks like I did a really good job at creating orphans. Oh, I guess I have to attack too. Oh, that was with advantage.
No,
oh, that's
you
fine.
did not.
So
Probably didn't
everybody,
see it coming.
just so you know,
Oh my God.
Let me roll that normal.
Twitch.tv/Lost Initiative Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, I
That's
have a
pretty good.
pretty normal schedule. The week
I wanted
after
to
that
stop
is
you.
pretty much non-existent
Yeah,
because I'll be
sorry.
on vacation up in Maine. I'm going to post it soon. I've already posted my potential schedule to all my different secret chats with all my different campaign groups just to make sure I got it right for all of them. And I'll be
think I might have
posting it to
killed
you
that
guys
dude,
this
too.
weekend, what my more or less
Oh,
next
you're
4
helping.
weeks will be,
Thanks.
so that you're aware.
You.
Okay, everybody?
Fighting you.
Anyways, I'm
Bye, everyone.
and while I'm up in Maine for like let's say 6 days that I am in Maine, expect me to disappear from the internet and not be a part of Discord, not be a part of Twitter, not be a part of anything. I mean, I'll still talk to you guys if you have my cell phone number. Actually, all 3 of you have my cell phone number, so all 3 of you could actually text me. You can't text each other though because you only know me and nobody else.
Oh, about that.
Yeah.
So
You only know me. None of you know each other. You just know me. So you guys can text me all you
He's
want.
kind of. Is he salty? Is he kind of
Yeah.
salty to you guys?
Yeah.
I think
Is he jealous?
I think he's just impressed with our RP today. You know.
Bye, everyone.
Josh, you can text me too.
You can raid now.
Josh, you
can
can
raid
text me too. Will, I think you can text me too. I think Will has my number. Will,
Okay,
you better
bye,
still have my
everyone. This
number.
is us leaving.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead now.
That's the one we leave on. Okay,
Yeah.
good.